What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Meadow Green Farm. We've got ourselves a beautiful fall day here. Not a cloud in the sky, a little bit of a breeze, about 73 degrees. Perfect day to work in the garden. So it's been getting down to about 45 degrees at night, which means all of our warm season crops have gone by. So tomatoes, peppers, okra, corn, all that's gone by. She's getting busy cleaning that out behind me. Once she's done cleaning those out, I'm actually gonna go through, take out all the trellising and the T-posts that are in the way, get all that out of the garden, finish hanging the row cover frames we took out about 2 months ago. And then she's going to come through about a week from now and put down this beautiful pile of bark mulch that you might see right behind me. We gotta get that on all the rowways, and then she's going to be covering all the beds with compost so that can mend into the soil over the course of this winter. And of course we have Miss Velvet giving us some assistance today in the garden. Pest Control. So we're going to go ahead and start right here with this okra. I'm going to cut the okra down with the machete. We're going to slice this off right at ground level. We like to practice no-till, so we leave these stumps and roots in the ground and let them decompose over winter. You might notice that there are some pieces of okra up here. We stopped harvesting this about 2 weeks ago. The aphids started coming around and really getting to it. So it was going by anyway, we stopped harvesting it. But let's go ahead, we'll chop this down, and then we're gonna move right over here probably to the tomatoes. And we are done cleaning up these okra rows. So I went through real quick with the rake and just kind of leveled everything out, scraped all the weeds and the sticks out of there. We got the okra out, we got the weeds out, we got it leveled and the drip irrigation back down. We are all set on these rows. So we really don't want to leave these rows exposed like this, but unfortunately we haven't had any meaningful rain for probably close to 3 months now. So we've had some sprinkles here and there, but it has never really been enough to actually soak the soil. So getting cover crops down or seeds down right now is kind of meaningless. They're not going to germinate, so we're going to hold off on those for a while. So unfortunately we have to leave them bare like this, but we are going to get compost, hopefully some cover crops over the top of these, and that way we can keep the soil covered over the winter time. So Gabrielle is over here cleaning up the eggplant row. We had some eggplant in here for a couple months and it did okay, but we did have some marigolds in here with it and they got pretty large. So she's taking down all the Florida weave trellising that we did for the eggplants. I'm going to pull up these T-posts right here, and I think we're going to take out some of these marigolds, maybe keep a couple.
I wanted to leave this one because Velvet's been using it as a nest and laying her eggs in it.
Yeah, our little girl Velvet keeps coming in here when we bring in the garden, and she goes ahead and lays her egg in there every day, so we might just leave that one right there. But Gabrielle's going to finish cleaning up this row. I'm going to move over here to where we had the cucumbers and the peas, and I'm going to go ahead, pull up all these T-posts and take down this cattle panel right here. Last year when we did these T-post clips, I went through with pliers and both of these little stems on the end, I wound these right around the cattle panel really tight. And what that did was it made it so we couldn't reuse these T-post clips last year, but I was really worried about them coming off the T-posts, the cattle panels coming off the T-posts. So this year when I set these up, we just came around and wound this around one time and didn't bend this side. And what it's doing is it's making it so that this fall when we come through and we take this apart, all you gotta do is bend that back and that lets go. And then next year we can come through and we can reuse all these little T-post clips by rewinding them and bending them back over like that. Alrighty, 2 more rows down. Got the cattle panels all out of here. Let's go and see what Gabrielle is working on. So what do we got going on over here?
Tomatoes. These Amish paste ones have definitely gone by. They do still have some green tomatoes on them, but they got infected with white flies pretty bad. They did great producing for us this summer, but as soon as the cold weather hit, it was really bad. So we're gonna pull these down, and Eric's gonna help me take the cattle panels out of here and get the row cleaned up.
Are we just doing this row today, or are we doing this row behind you as well?
Well, the Amish paste tomatoes definitely need to come down. These San Marzano ones, they still have a lot of tomatoes on them that I can still use, so I think I might wait at least another week for them.
Okay, so I'll come back in a week and we'll take this stuff down. And then you want the cattle panels over here where we had the cucumbers, you want those taken down as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we got some cool stuff growing behind you. The cattle panels are over here. I'll take you over there and show you guys what we got growing, something new for us. So these guys we have growing over here are called dragon tail radishes, and each radish puts up basically like a stalk and a seed head, and the seeds are inside these pods right here. So these pods actually taste just like a radish, so they have that really peppery taste like a radish does. And I guess a lot of people use these in salads and Korean dishes and stuff. The reason that we put these in here was actually for all these flowers. It's kind of hard at the end of the year to find plants and stuff that will flower, you know, late into the fall and early winter, but there are a lot of bees in here, as you can see right here. We got honeybees all over the place. All right, so here we are, day 2, and we have another beautiful day to get some gardening work done. Of course, we got Miss Velvet right over here helping us once again today. She's on grasshopper duty. I was able to take out all the cattle panels, so we've gotten rid of the whole pile of wood chips that we have over here. We've moved Gabrielle's little garden bench right back to where it was. Now that we can get it in there and actually use it. So as you can see, the gardening is clearing up really nice. So she's down here busy working on the strawberries. I just came through, finished getting all the wood chips down on these 2 aisles right here, getting this aisle all cleaned out. Unfortunately, we are getting mauled by fire ants in these 3 aisles right here, which is kind of unfortunate, but we are still yet to figure out a way to get rid of these ants out of the garden. So she's down here in the corner working on the strawberries. I'm going to go ahead and take out this row of cattle panels, and so we can get the rest of this row cleaned out right here. So we're going to be leaving all the zinnias, because as you can see, it's still good pollinators for the garden. So let's grab these cattle panels, get them out of here, and then we'll pull up all the T-posts. So I just finished spreading the rest of the mulch into our walkways, and I think Gabrielle is pretty much done cleaning up in this row. So I think we're just about done for the day. I know you want to work on the strawberries, but I was kind of thinking maybe we should explain why we go through the trouble of setting up the cattle panels in the spring and then doing all the work and taking them all back down in the fall. So I know you know a little bit more about crop rotation. Can you tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that's exactly why, because of crop rotation. It's not a good idea to plant the same crop in the same place repeatedly. So especially nightshades like tomatoes and peppers, they are very prone to infestations like pests and diseases. So, and that's why we take all our tomatoes right out of the garden instead of like composting them or chop and drop, because you don't want to reinfect the soil with all the disease or pests.
Yeah, so we take those and we actually just throw them out in the woods pretty far away from the garden. We also did that, so like, yeah, these aisles right here have the sawdust down on it, and we actually took that out. We don't typically take stuff off the ground, but we decided to this year just because of, what were they, the white flies that we had?
Yeah, there's white flies and stink bugs, and so all the tomato leaves dropping as we're pulling them out. So we just raked up all that and got rid of it, just trying to clean up so that it doesn't come back next year.
Yeah, so we just scraped the top of those aisles. We'll amend some more compost into them for the next planting, but I think that's just about it for today. We're going to finish cleaning up here, and I think we're going to be done for today.
Yeah, I think so too. Got a lot done. There's always more to do in the garden, so sometimes it's hard to pace yourself and stop because the list is always going.
Yeah, we made good headway this weekend though, because we got most of the aisles cleaned out. Most of the aisles have wood chips in them. We got all the cattle panels, the T-posts out. Basically all the infrastructure and stuff like that was taken out of the garden this weekend. So,
and now I have room to plant more plants.
Yeah, now we have a blank slate to start over with and start planning for next year.
No, not next year. Just because the seasons are changing doesn't mean there's not any more to plant in the garden. I have onions and garlic going in, and I still have little carrots coming up and beets coming up and
radishes.
Radishes, yeah. So I'm gonna plant spinach too.
All right, so we got cool weather crops going in, but we're gonna have to set those cool weather crops. We're going to have to work around them next year. So we do have to start planning for the springtime.
I already have.
Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. We just want to show everybody how we clean up the garden for fall. It's pretty simple. It's just a lot of hours worth of, moving things around, getting mulch down, getting compost down, taking the weeds out, taking the infrastructure out. Many hours of work go into it, but you know what? It's a blank slate now, and like Gabrielle talked about, we can get ready for next year. So we're already planning for next year. We have our chicken schedule already set up for 2024. We know exactly what we want to get done as far as layers of meat birds next year. We have our schedule for our pigs set. We've talked about getting cattle, so we're working on getting the fence lines in. And now she has a clean slate to get the garden ready for next year. So one of the other things that we have to do this year is expand the raspberries, the blackberries, and maybe the blueberries, and figure out a fencing system for our fruit orchard. So a ton of work we got to do this fall, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to see that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and stick around. And if you like the video, hit the like button for us. It helps us out a lot. Until next time, we hope you have a great day.